Welcome to this gathering hosted by the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bowling Green. Whether you're here in person or joining us online, we're glad you're with us today. My name is Janine, and I'm the service associate this morning. We ask that you please set your cell phones to silent, if you have one. Making sure mine is too. Here we go. This service is being live streamed, so if this large room isn't comfortable for you for some reason, you can go to the Baloo Lounge, which is right as you came in the door. It's right next to the entrance there. And there's a small screen there, and you can turn it on and watch us on YouTube. Or you could, of course, watch us on your phone. We are a welcoming congregation. Whoever you are, however you identify, wherever you come from, whoever you love, please know that you are welcome here. Our Sunday services are different each week so that we can learn from each other and from a wide array of traditions and beliefs. As you can see today, we're set up for our annual Remembrance service. Many people have brought mementos. If you have some that you are still holding on to, you can bring them up now or bring them up when we get to the part of the service where we'll be filling out the butterflies. And so this is one of our annual festivals of the year. We have about 6 of them through the year, and they sort of honor various traditions and the seasons as they pass. And today is, in the Celtic calendar, the first day of winter. Anybody feel that? It's a little chillier than it has been. But it is that we're moving towards the dark time of the year. The clocks went backwards. And so as we move into this time, we take today to remember and honor those we have lost, either mostly in this past year and in the years before that as well. Another tradition common to Unitarian Universalists is the flaming chalice. It's a symbol of light, of learning, and the love of our community. As our congregation's chalice is lit during the ceremony, we invite you to light your own chalice at home. This morning, our chalice will be lit by Freya, and Amy will be sharing a reading.
Spirit of love and life, great mystery, we gather today in grief and in gratitude. May we know that the grief comes and goes. May we hold fast to gratitude. May we know that the mystery is unknowable. May we hold fast to each other. May we know that what is physical comes and goes. May we hold fast to the love that never dies. As we release what we have lost into the care of the eternal, may we hold fast to the stories, the love, and the light that remains. Amen.
On this day of remembrance, we say aloud their names again, the names of those who died this year. Died. The word is jarring, so jarring that we hardly use the word, substituting euphemisms that are a bit more vague. Sometimes people say lost, when what they mean is dead. We lost so-and-so this year. But people who die are not lost. They are not misplaced. We did not just lose sight of them, nor did they wander off. They died. And it is as final as the word sounds. But that is, of course, why we don't say they died. When people die, they do not just disappear and we continue on. There is no such thing as out of sight, out of mind. There is no switch to flip to turn off our feelings. The person may not be lost, but we are at a loss. For words, for normalcy, for what was and what could have been. And grief is such an unwieldy thing. We are fine 1 minute, years even, and then the deep sadness comes, seemingly out of nowhere. That's the thing about people who are loved. Their memories keep. They're never too far away. They come to us in a song lyric, or a line of a movie dialogue, or on a long walk. What was it that they always said? Oh, that's right. And they always had to have it a certain way. So maybe we'll do it that way and laugh a little in memoriam. Be with us, Spirit of Life, as we grieve over the empty chairs at the table. We'll light a candle and say an extra prayer, and we trust with sure and certain hope that you had them before we let them go. Amen. And I invite everyone, first of all, if you have not brought up your mementos during the hymn that we're about to sing, please go ahead and bring them up on the tables here. And then if any children have any names that they would like to make for our memory tree, we invite you to come on up, kids, and I will help you make a memento. And now, please rise in body and spirit as we sing I Cannot Think of Them as Dead, which is hymn number 96, verses 1 through 4. And the words will be on the screen.
Please rise in body or spirit. This hymn is predictable, however, it's not one that we know that well. But you did hear it because I played it during the prelude, and I will play it through once again to get the melody in your head, and so that we can sing all 4 verses. I cannot think of them as dead who walk with me no more. Along thy path of life I tread, our rivers gone before. They are but gone before. You may be seated.
Now is a time of year when many different religions and cultures celebrate and honor those who are no longer with us. In fact, many religions and cultures have specific rituals and traditions that happen at this time to help them remember and express gratitude for their ancestors. Because when we remember our loved ones with gratitude for the gifts they gave us, their kindness, their stories, their wisdom, and the way they made us feel, those memories can help heal some of the sadness. Gratitude helps the love we received keep growing inside of us, even when the person is gone. So with that in mind, I want to tell you a story called The Memory Tree by Britta Teckentrup. There once was a fox who lived with all the other animals in the forest. Fox had lived a long and happy life, but his life was at its end, and it would soon be time for him to pass on. Very slowly, Fox made his way to his favorite spot in the clearing. He looked at his beloved forest one last time and lay down. Fox closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and passed on. Everything around Fox was still and peaceful. Snow began to fall, gently covering him with a soft blanket. Owl had watched Fox from the top of his tree. He flew down and landed next to his friend. Owl was very sad. He had known Fox for a long time, but Owl knew the time had come for his friend to leave. One by one, Fox's friends came to the clearing. First squirrel and weasel, then bear, deer, and bird, and finally rabbit, mouse, and others came to sit by Fox. Fox had been loved by everyone. He had been kind and caring. No one could imagine life in the forest without him. The animals sat in silence for a very long time. Finally, Owl was the first to speak. He smiled warmly and said, "I remember when Fox and I were very young. Every autumn we raced to see who could catch more falling leaves." The other animals remembered and smiled. Mouse said softly, "I remember how much Fox loved the sunset. He always sat at this exact spot." The animals remembered. Many of them had joined Fox watching the sun go down. It was a happy memory, and their sad hearts filled with warmth. Bear remembered how Fox had looked after his cubs one spring. Squirrel talked about Fox helping him dig his buried nuts in the deep snow last winter. One by one, the animals remembered their favorite stories about Fox. Fox had touched the lives of all the animals in the forest with his warmth and kindness, and they all smiled, remembering. While the animals talked, a little plant grew out of the snow where Fox was lying. Small and delicate at first, and hardly noticeable, but the plant grew bigger, stronger, and more beautiful with each story. The animals talked about Fox all through the night, and in the morning the little plant had grown into a small tree, an orange tree. The animals saw the tree and knew that Fox was still a part of them. During the next days, weeks, and months, the animals remembered many more stories about Fox. Their heavy hearts began to feel lighter. The more they remembered, the more the tree grew, higher and more beautiful, until it was the tallest tree in the forest, a tree made from memories and full of love. Fox's orange tree was big and strong, enough to shelter all the animals. It was always buzzing with life. The birds built their nests among the leaves, and Owl raised his grand chicks on the branches. Squirrel found a cozy home in the trunk, and bear, deer, and rabbit slept in its shade, and everyone ate of the oranges that fell. The tree gave strength to everyone who had loved Fox. And so, Fox lived on in their hearts forever. At this time, we are getting ready to sing the children on to their RE, but first, if we would like to have any kids who have a name to add to our tree, please come up and share.
It's for my grandma's dog that last year passed away. close to Thanksgiving, and my mother's grandma who passed away before I could even see her. So I'm very thankful that I still have pictures and I still have them in my heart.
She did such a good job showing what we're going to be doing later, so thank you so much. All right, and now we will sing Go Lift It Up.
Thank you. As we've noticed, today is our remembrance service, so some of the things are in a slightly different order than we normally do them during our service. And so at this time, we're going to have the offertory. This congregation and the work we do is supported by the voluntary generosity of all who contribute. The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. You may place a donation in the plate as it comes around to you. You can use the QR codes on the screen, and you can put money on the plate on the way out of the door, or send it to our office at any time, or use our online options. And Forrest will be playing music for us.
I want to, before I do that though, I want to come up here and get Daniel. I sang this for Daniel's funeral, and Daniel was he was a big cheerleader of mine, and there is not a day that I don't think that this guy comes through my thoughts or Greg's thoughts. And so he was a character. There's no doubt about that. I'm just a poor wayfaring stranger, a traveling through this land of woe. But there's no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright world to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I know dark clouds will gather o'er me. I know my path is rough and steep, where weary eyes lie out before me, where weary eyes no more shall weep. I'm going there to see my brother. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going over home.
For these gifts, may we use them wisely in the service of our congregation and our community. We would like now to talk a little bit about joining this community and this congregation, and Sharon will be sharing with us about upcoming events.
Next Sunday, we're going to have a ceremony we've not had for quite a while. So it's very special. We have new members who have considered a long time what they would like to do, and they've decided they'd like to join us. And so next week, we will communicate to each other our support for one another, their support for our mission and the things that are important to us, and we will vow to support them. So it's always such a happy day, and I'm really glad that we have enough people to do it again. So thank you. Pardon? Yes, and then after that, the service next Sunday, we will be having the regular, if you have a question about us, if there are things you want to know, that does not mean you're wanting to become a member right away. We never encourage people to rush into it. It's something that requires a lot of thought. But if you would just like to get a beginning of learn about us and talk to us about your experiences, that would be wonderful. So after the service next Sunday, we'll be doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. So our congregation is an active one. We do a lot of various things, and here are some ways you can get involved, get connected, make a difference. Next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, pizza and game night. So please mark your calendars and come on down. We've moved it a little bit earlier. It's starting at 5 instead of 6. And please also mark your calendar, our Thanksgiving Day potluck. Thanksgiving Day here at the church. If you want to eat with friends, come on down, and we ask that you bring a side dish if you can. We're also suggesting a $5 donation per person, $7 per family. Children under 12 eat free. The church will be providing the turkey and other larger items, but pie, 1 o'clock is that time, so come on down. And there's a sign-up sheet, I believe, in the hall to tell what you would like to bring, so we kind of don't have 10 million pumpkin pies, although I personally don't think that's a problem, but some people do. Anyway, and there's also an online form, and the link to that was in the weekly update, and will be in the weekly updates in the weeks to come. So also in the fellowship hall is our free food pantry. We thank everyone for their donations. Please know it's available for everyone. If you are in need, if you have friends in need, if you have a food bank in your hometown and you'd like to take some of the food from there and spread it that way, please do so. The shelves are getting full, which is great, but we'd like to make room. And we are also starting to collect warm wool socks. We'll be collecting those in November and December, and there should be a box in the lobby for socks to go into, so that'll help people who need socks. So these are ways we're sharing with our community and with each other. Engraved tiles, this is our Remembrance Day. The board has authorized buying a tile for Cheryl Stevens, who was one of our members. If you would like to buy a tile for someone and you don't have, it can be just in honor of, we are finally going to put the order in. We needed a minimum of 5, and that's what we've been waiting on. The forms are in the front, in the lobby there, and you can talk to me if you have questions about the tiles. Another way, the board is looking for volunteers to be part of our new security team. This team develops policies and procedures to prepare and protect our church congregation from threats such as fires, floods, natural disasters, tornadoes, anybody remember that? burglaries, other dangers, various things. And so if you have experience in this area or you'd like to help, please talk to Ken Kuhn or email president@uucbg.org. And we are also starting up a new gathering. We haven't done this before. It's called Starting Point. Everyone, longtime members, newcomers, everybody's welcome. And it's a way to get started on a spiritual journey within UU that's made up of 3 fundamental, distinct UU practices: listening to your deepest self, opening yourself to life's gifts, and serving needs greater than your own. And it's just 4 sessions. It'll be in December. And you can talk to Laura McGee if you have questions. And there is also a sign-up sheet in the lobby for that. And one more announcement that isn't on the slideshow. It's late-breaking news. Today at 2 o'clock, there is a gathering of, AFL-CIO, Circus Square Park. So it's I guess a march. I just got handed this.
It's a protest with the Southern Kentucky Indivisible and with the Women's League of Bureaucrats. League of Women Voters.
Okay, so several different groups are working together with this, and it's a protest march. 2 o'clock, Circus Square. Talk to Diane if you have questions. Thank you. Okay, so as always, you can find more community news by reading our weekly email updates. You can get a hard copy of our monthly newsletter. It's in the lobby. Read it on the bulletin board, and it was also sent out via email. The screen in the lobby shows events. We have the website, the Facebook page. We're trying a variety of ways so everybody knows what's going on and you can get connected. And with that, we are about ready to start our ceremony, and Gail will be leading us through that.
A poem by Maya Angelou, When Great Trees Fall. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. Our eyes briefly see with hurtful clarity. Our memory suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of a soothing electric vibration. Our senses restore, never to be the same, whisper to us, they existed. We can be and be better, for they existed.
Thank you, Amy. And let those words lead us into our moment of silence, meditation, reflection, and prayer. The singing bowl will lead us into silence, and after the silence, you're invited to join in the song Spirit of Life, which is hymn number 123 in the gray hymnal, and the words will be on the screen.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
As we mentioned earlier, today is our annual Remembrance Festival, where we remember those we have lost. And as is tradition, we will be decorating an item to represent anyone that you would like to remember today. That can be multiple people. You can do multiple people on one item. You can do multiple people on multiple items. And then we will hang them on our memory tree. What will happen is we have a few options. One, we do have oranges, just like Fox's orange tree in our story today. Also, it's important to know that in Australia, it's spring, but they also have Samhain, Halloween, Day of the Dead celebrations. But what they do for memorials is they plant orange trees. So I would encourage you, if you're feeling bright and grateful and full for the love of the person that you are remembering today, you might choose an orange. But if you're feeling a little more dark, you might choose one of the black butterflies. And what's nice about the black butterflies is then you can start to scratch away at the grief with these scratchers that are down there. And you can put the name. There are markers for the oranges, scratchers for the butterflies. And then what we will do is we have ornament hooks that we can hook on in a moment. And then do we also want to give out rosemary? Yes. And then also Janine has brought in some lovely rosemary. Rosemary for Remembrance, if anybody knows the poem. You are also welcome to take that with you as a memento as well. And so, yes, and Don't forget, if you have not brought up items on the table, please do. We will take a moment to say the names. If you do not wish to say the names, you just wish to hang up, we can do that as well. And you will also be able to share your memento when we do the names. But for now, come on up and make your memorial item. So you are welcome to hang it up if you go ahead and hang it up if you didn't want to say anything later, but if you do, you can hold on to it. I also want to recognize that November 20th is Transgender Remembrance Day, and so you can also use this moment to remember anyone of the transgender community that has been lost, but also you can also use this if you are transgender to celebrate your new life and the death of an old one. So we can also use this as a time of remembering how we've grown and how we've been reborn. want to take a moment to thank everybody. We get a very low table for the kiddos, but I know that's a lot of deep bending for a lot of us. So I appreciate how spry everyone was today. And now we will name those who we've lost. Part of the process of grief is to acknowledge and name what has been lost. Let us take a moment to recognize the enormity of the loss of a friend or loved one and how this affects each of us. Take a breath and take just a moment now to acknowledge the impact the loss has had on you and those you love. We now name those lost in the past months in our congregational community, beginning first with the names of those friends and members of the church. And the member and friend that we lost this year was Charles Buzzy Groves. And now I invite you, as you are willing, to come and share the names of the wider community losses that we have experienced this year. I will begin with my own family. Retta Cook, Beverly Steele Livesay, Joyce Livesay, Todd Livesay Sr., and Scott Harper and Alan Bettler.
Two former cave guides from Mammoth Cave, George Corey and Charlie Hennion. I worked with both of them. George was my supervisor my second year. I just thought of another one because we also lost another supervisor. She was my first one, Zoe Satera. Childhood friend, classmate from elementary school, Eddie Sparks, retired Army, probably died. They didn't tell me this for sure, but all the symptoms sounded like ALS. My best friend in grade school, her mother, Sue Bryant, passed away. And then my dad's sister, Joyce Willadine Keating.
My losses were not this year, so I guess I'm thankful for no losses this year. But my mom, Karen Reed, passed away 2 years ago. My grandma and my grandpa both passed away longer ago than that, but especially getting close to Christmas time and holidays and family gatherings reminds me of I can't go to their house anymore. You know, I can't go see them. But on the flip side of grief, losing my daughter in 2014, I'm transgender, and I never realized why I wasn't happy, even with myself, so I couldn't be happy with anything else. But losing my daughter made me realize at the very core of who I am that she would want me to be happy, so that made me realize who I am, and gave me the bravery from her to be who I am. And her dad, my ex-husband, he passed away a couple years ago too, and I want to, remember him for giving me her. So just those memories.
no one has to share, but if there's anyone else who would like to share, please go.
About a month ago, I lost a good friend of mine, Jason Ash Matthews. He was a great friend and brother, poet, musician, martial artist, and took me by shock. I had been friends with him for 25 years, and I miss him.
I'm looking at the pictures of my mom and my dad. And they were married for more than 50 years. And she told me at one point, she goes, "Don't think I was happy all of those years." I said, okay, you know. I don't know. They had these arguments. They never did until I got much older. And then they did. And it was funny, though, because I know they loved each other. You know, they did. My mom had a stroke and then lived in a facility for quite a while, but she was unable to swallow. And so eventually she passed away, and I think she wanted to, and I really do, because her life was just over. And my dad had a plumbing business forever. I'm from Roswell, New Mexico, by the way. And so he was a plumber, and he had a plumbing company. And evidently he was driving down the roads, touching the curb. He couldn't see. And I don't know how he didn't have a wreck, but he didn't. And so finally we got him to stop driving. We took the keys away, and then he couldn't find them, and he was very upset, but he did not need to drive. Anyway, he had a heat stroke because he would dress up in a suit in the middle, and it's hot in New Mexico in the summer. And he had a whole suit on and a hat and all of that, had a heat stroke, and passed out in a parking lot of a place kind of like a Walmart, but it wasn't. And so he got sent to the hospital, and he never woke up. So he passed in about 3 days, I believe. And all my sisters, I have 3 sisters, everybody got there. And so we were able to be with him. And actually, we were with Mom, too. So we were with both of them. Thanks.
I'm remembering today a close friend, Kathy Allen, who is also from New Mexico, and my cousin, who was 92 and a half, Janice Denning. They were both more like sisters to me, and they were both about love and acceptance. So I know they're here with us today.
And I'm remembering my dad, who passed when I was a teenager, a long time ago. He brought a baseball with me today because I threw a no-hitter when I was 15 years old, and he was there every moment of it. And I also would like to recognize Janice that Vicki mentioned, partly because she's a big Dodgers fan. And she's probably smiling today after the victory last night.
And also, if you are unable to come up, just raise your hand and I'll bring the mic to you too.
So today is the 9th day of my ex-husband's passing. And we have had we burn a candle for 9 days, and each morning we bring food to this altar that we have in our home right now. And yesterday, Lee got waffles, and this morning he got a lovely tangerine and some fresh juice. And the candle has been so wonderful because we say good morning and good night over these past 9 days to Freya's father. And we each had the opportunity to say, I love you, or I care about you, when he was passing. And I think the really beautiful thing is that his new wife gathered 5 or 6 musicians that went to hospice, and they just did an impromptu concert. He was a songwriter. Impromptu concert for him. And he was unable to let go. And after that concert, he was able to let go the next morning. And, you know, there's such a beauty and such a completion. And so I really honor all the, you know, his life and how he made music his mission. And mourn the loss. It's like it's like I'm a marshmallow, and inside there's no ooky gooky stuff, and it's just this hollow. But it's not a grief, because we've been knowing that he was going to pass for 5 years. But it's this empty, for me, this empty space that doesn't have a name. And yeah, so it's part of the mystery, and it's the mystery of the grief, and the mystery of the death, and the mystery of that empty feeling.
Last July, my cousin Michael Burton Heinlein passed after a short and severe losing battle with liver cancer. And I'm just very grateful that his widow, my beloved cousin Margaret, insisted that I come to Virginia and spend Thanksgiving with her family. My family has always been spread out around the country, and many, many of them are gone now. But I'm looking forward to this bittersweet but much beloved family reunion.
This is for my mama, Liesel. She passed away about 30 years ago. At that time, I was busy, career, family, moving to the US. I had no time to even think about it. And now, with my spiritual journey, I realized what I have missed and what I have gained. I said she had the biggest heart you can imagine, and I want to carry that on. And Liesel stands for Elizabeth. So, thank you.
I'm going to show the picture I brought. My mother lived into her upper 90s. This is my mother and my father and me. And my dad didn't get to see me much at the beginning because he was over in Europe. But I miss them a lot. He died way too young. I miss them a lot, but yet they're with me all the time. Because when I make decisions, when I think about things, I think about them being connected with those decisions and so much of me.
Well, I'd like to bring the name of Reverend Tricia Tumino into the room. She's someone I cared about a lot, and I lost this past year. She was my supervising minister at the Middleborough, Massachusetts church when I did my student ministry there between 2002 and 2004. It's a 2-year internship. And she said to me early on that she felt that I had already reached a good degree of formation, and she felt like I was more an assistant minister than a student. And you can't imagine how helpful a comment like that is. It really gave me the sense that I had found my place and that I had support and guidance, which I did for the 2 years. Lots of memories. She's about my age, and she was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, which is a terrible disease, and it's not something that you recover from. And yet she did make a certain degree of recovery. She went from a wheelchair to being able to walk, and the last time I had time with her was a long walk at an area that she cared about. We walked for half an hour together, very slowly. And so she lives deeply in my heart. And if it won't take too long, I'd like to also mention this wallet that I brought in. I found after my father died, and we didn't have much in common in terms of relationship. And so there were lots of parts of his life I didn't know anything about at all, because he was very silent and did not share. But this wallet contained dozens of clippings and notations, notes about his life, including the time he served the United States Army in the North African and Sicilian Italian campaigns, which were pretty rough campaigns. And the things that I found most intriguing and most cherished were a 24-hour pass that allowed him to view the sights of the town that they happened to be in and the environs, as they called it. A pass that allowed him to have early chow on a particular day at a particular location. A shower pass that allowed him to take a shower. These were ephemera. These were things that you kept for a day and then threw away because you didn't need them anymore. And yet, they were preserved. For some reason, they were meaningful. And that brought back a more intimate connection with him, I think, than anything I ever had before. So that's the meaning of this wallet.
I lost an aunt and an uncle, Liesel Beck and Ludwig Beck, this year. I remember them fondly because when I was young, growing up in Germany, we spent every summer there, and they were generous and always welcoming. So I visited them every time I had a chance in Germany.
Well, first I wanted to say that I couldn't think of anybody specifically because I've lost so many. But I wrote down on my butterfly, doggies, family, and friends. That's the order I put it in. But anyway, but my grandmother was my favorite adult growing up, and I brought a pin that's laying up there that I probably brought the same pin last year. It's also reminded me that she had given me a cameo probably in the 50s or 60s, and she told me it was 100 years old. It was stolen out of my house in '93, and I've still never gotten over that. I wish I had it. But I'm thinking of everybody I've lost and everybody you all have lost. Thanks.
Thank you all for sharing. Now we have heard the names, all the names, and we know that held within each name is a story. May we know that the infinite web of life and love holds us all and holds all the stories. Its strands connect us to our ancestors, to each other, and to our future. May we know that what we have lost is with us still. The lives of those lost hold us steady. Their words call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own. May we know that we, the living, take them with us, and may we choose the deeper path of living. Amen.
Please rise and bow to your spirit as we sing together hymn number 18, What Wondrous Love.
What wondrous love is this, O my soul, O my soul? What wondrous love is this, O my soul? What wondrous love is this that calls my heart such bliss? With takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down beneath all sorrow's ground, friends to me gathered round, O my soul, O my soul. Friends to me gathered round, O my soul. To love and to all friends I will sing, I will sing. To love and to all friends I will sing. To love and to all friends whose pain and sorrow mend, with thanks unto the end, I will sing, I will sing. With thanks unto the end, I will sing.
Thank you. You may be seated. Amy will give our final reading.
Our final reading is by Tess Bomberger, Prayer for the Living. As my body begins to lose its hold on this life, this earth, this entirety, may I lay my past to rest and face the unknowable with courage and curiosity. May those to whom I am connected gather. May they recall me as I am and have been. May they forgive any forgivable harm I may have caused, every instance of neglect. May they release their own regrets as well. May they remember moments of laughter and times of affection and memory. May they laugh and cry as they tell stories of my words and actions, my character. May they know I am saying farewell too. May they sit quietly or listen to the music. May they care for themselves and one another, as I would have in my best moments. May kind people arrive to support them and to assist me on this starlit path. And when I move into that final mystery, may they comfort one another. May they find a way to embody whatever they have learned from me. May they rise, stretch, heal, and live.
Thank you, Amy. We hope you found today's service meaningful and helpful. We invite you to share your thoughts about us, about the service. You can send comments to sundayservices@uucbg.org. For those who are here in person, there's a small blue box in the lobby. You can write a note, and you can use the online form to let us know what worked, what didn't, what you'd like to see, and what you hope to see next time. Next Sunday, our speaker is the Reverend Dr. Michelle Peterson, and her topic is, I don't feel grateful, and how to then, I assume, overcome that. So please come next Sunday to join us welcoming Dr. Peterson with us again. And until then, be well and go in peace.